All Caps is brought to you by Renegades, the new podcast of Bruce Springsteen and Barack Obama.
So I was at your 60th birthday party on Martha's Vineyard this weekend. It was a great party, Barack.
Mm-hmm.
What a beautiful, beautiful event, and happy birthday once again. I love that you wore the tan suit to the party. That was so good. But I got into I ended up getting into a little scuffle with Steven Spielberg. Because I told him E.T. doesn't make any fucking sense. Welcome to All Caps. We've talked a lot about important stories on All Caps this season. We've talked about social justice. We've talked about player empowerment. We've talked about free agency. We've talked about COVID. We've talked about blowjob bells, which was really, that happened a while ago, but we talked about it anyway. And maybe the most important thing that we've ever talked about ever on this show, we will now talk about. Ben Simmons is shooting. Here it is. Ah! Watch it. Ah! Do it again. Boom! 24 points a game this season. That's it. All on threes. Every offseason, Ben Simmons releases a video of him hitting like 3 jumpers. And every single time, I get Simmons pilled. Here's some more. August 21, 2019, 2 whole years ago, the title of the video, Ben Simmons becoming a lethal shooter, league is not ready. The league, it turned out, was ready. The league was extremely prepared for this.
When I saw the headline for this, I thought it was like some dipshit person who uploaded that with that title, but it was House of Highlights saying league is not ready.
They thought the league wasn't ready. I mean, like, to be fair, this is like Taj Gibson. He's giving it to Taj Gibson. Is that Justice Winslow? Like, he's giving it to NBA guys. And it's also an edit. Can I just say, like, how many takes? That's the thing. We're in the video business. Who cares?
Yeah, how many takes was, The Irishman? We don't know. Final product is all that matters.
An NBA game is all one shot. They're not going to be able to edit it. And isn't it the free throws? Like, I actually don't care about the threes because he's not going to take them. Like, if you see me at one of those axe throwing places, have you ever seen those? If you're good at throwing an axe, I don't care because you're never going to throw one. But the free throws are the thing that he actually needs to do. Getting the cosign from Rondo is huge because Rondo, one of the noted geniuses of the NBA, with a career profile that's weirdly the opposite of Ben's, where Ben has very strong regular seasons and then absolutely shrinks like into a ball of like nothingness in the postseason, whereas Rajon Rondo, like a cicada during the regular season, like stays deep underground in hibernation. You cannot expect anything from him. And then the playoffs come around and he's like a different guy, elevates your team. He's doing like just like genius shit that nobody's ever thought of before. But during the regular season, he's just like, you gotta switch that up. Let's go to the lizard man, Skip Bayless. He's looking at the video of Ben Simmons hitting 3 threes.
He is afraid to shoot, but he can shoot.
Yes!
And we have seen games such as February 15th at Utah where he just torches somebody.
Right.
He went at Utah on Gobert 42, 9, and 12.
Shouts to whoever the research team is that is like, here's a game in Utah where he did really well. And then Skip's just like, yeah, who could forget that night in Utah when Ben Simmons went 11 for 14. Thank you for that, researcher. I make $20 million a year. You're fired. This is the easiest gig in television. No?
No way. You can't teach this. Sort of magnetism.
Oh, I'm with you, Jason. This is the easiest.
I think
if you then other people would be good at it.
The hardest part is just like hardening your heart to the point where you don't care.
Not even.
Right.
It's just waking up that early and getting to the studio on time. It's getting through LA traffic.
Well, you do that, and then also, but there's just like an element of just pure entertainment that you like. There's a threshold there that very few people, I think, can pull off being entertaining, whether they're saying the right thing or the wrong thing. They're just so.
You're right. I hate that you're right kind of about this. It's like Colin Cowherd. That guy is wrong 85% of the time. But like, I can't talk for 3 hours to no one. I'm not just gonna be like, and then let's see what else is happening. Like I'm just gonna like have 5 minutes where I need to stop talking, and he can't. incredible stuff by the Lizard Man, Skip Bayless. And Shannon, pick it up, man. There was a moment where you seemed like you were gonna eclipse Stephen A. Like you were coming for it. You were coming for the throne. It was in your grasp, and it's gone, man. That moment is gone. What happened? You were beautiful, man, and now it's over. This 500 folds of skin that's sitting across the table for you is destroying you. Pick it up. Do something. Throw a glass of water or something. What do you think about for the next couple episodes? We do like a companion pod to something, to a show that we both like. Like I was thinking Unsolved Mysteries, the old one with Robert Stack. Remember that one?
Yeah. Actually, hey, I hate to cut in here.
Yeah,
Pretty
who's that?
Who
Who is that?
This is actually our producer Zuri here. We never met, but I'm so happy to be on the show.
Where are you? Where are you
in,
coming from?
I'm in Los Angeles.
What happened to Jason?
You know, it's actually what I wanted to speak about. This is actually our last episode, so
What?
I'm not sure.
Hold on a second.
Whoa.
Wait, hold on. Zorro, what about the Unsolved Mysteries podcast?
Yeah, it's actually Zuri, but I appreciate Zorro also. You know, we're working on the contracts now, but there's nothing set in stone, so we don't want to preview anything now that the show's actually over.
Zach, hold on. You got to understand that I just signed up for Spotify Premium, so
That's a binding contract.
that's $6.99 a month, son.
Mr. President, I'm sure they appreciate your subscription, but the only plans we have set in stone now are to turn the podcast into a book.
Zool, that doesn't make any sense. How are you gonna turn a podcast into what is this, like water into wine? How does that even work? Is this the show where you do the pumpkin?
No, Bruce, this is still Renegades podcast.
Where are the there are cameras in here. So I guess is this Ashton Kutcher? What is it? Come on now. Let's go to the scroll. Nikola Jokic is plastered. Good for him. Who knows what they drink in Serbia? They just drink like shit that's like lamp oil that's just been sitting in a corner. Here he It's not that bad. I mean, this is not Tom Brady level. Tom Brady legitimately needed to be carried out of the spot.
How much did Tom Brady drink versus how much we think Jokic drank?
I mean, that's the thing. What does it take to get this guy drunk? Probably like 4 whole bottles of wine. This is like the Andre the Giant thing where he had to drink like 200 beers before he felt a buzz. I love players like this that have somehow, through like hard work and skill, managed to work around some like major obstacle of like laziness in their life. Like Jokic is just like, you know what? I don't really want to get super in shape, but I want to be really good. So like, how can I design my game around just like not working out that hard? He was in the best shape of his career this past season, and it was like not discernibly different than any other year of his career. I'm proud of the guy. I also love the fact that he can just walk the streets of Serbia and there's one person. You'd think he'd be mobbed. It's like one person is following him. Also, is he wearing like a Crunch Fitness shirt? Like, what is this? That's great. I'm happy for him. He deserves it. Why does he? I guess he doesn't. Like, they didn't win the title. No, like, come back. You gotta be in the gym. I take it back. Get in the gym. David Duke Jr. Okay, so the Nets have signed David Duke Jr., who, as many have noted, has the same name as former Grand Wizard of the KKK. What the ranks in the KKK don't make any sense. There's Wizard and then Grand Wizard. Like, that's not if you're like, oh no, the Grand Wizard is here. I'm not scared of you. Like, what is? I'm sorry, it's not scary.
It's tough that it's David Duke Jr. because Jr. really suggests that he could be the actual KKK David
Drop the
Duke's
Jr. I'm
son.
so with you.
I agree. You know what he should do? David Duke Sr. Now he's David Duke's dad. Okay, so he had people online telling him he had to change his name. So what did he do? Basically, David Duke is like, someday I want people to look up David Duke and see my face. Yeah, I mean, David Duke, it's time to reclaim the name. I hope it happens. Forget Nikola Jokic. David Duke Sr. Get in the gym. Make an all-star team. 6th man of the year. Whatever it takes to erase David Duke other junior, the bad David Duke from history. I'm really rooting for this guy. I'm going to Google David Duke, and I'm just going to see what comes up right now. David Duke. David Duke basketball is number 2 already. So we're climbing, folks. We're getting there before the season has even started. We're only in the summer league, and David Duke basketball climbing the rankings. You know how like people say if I could go back in time, I'd kill Hitler? If I could go back in time, I would go to like just before the Civil War, and I would bring like interracial porno, and I would be like, y'all lost. Look at this. You see this? Look at this. Y'all lost. I love that the good David Duke is reclaiming the name for all of us, and I absolutely support it. Let's talk about George Karl. George Karl, longtime NBA coach, former NBA player, father of a basketball player who had a cup of coffee in the league, notably for the Lakers, other teams. George Karl still has an axe to grind against Carmelo Anthony, who he formerly coached as a member of the Denver Nuggets. Denver, under George Karl, they made like one Western Conference final. They were a good team during that time, but they made a famous Western Conference final against the Lakers. Did not win that series. Melo, now a member of the Lakers, and here is the Sports Center tweet that so inflamed George Karl's memory. Here it is. Melo has his eyes set on championship with the Lakers. This is the one thing I'm missing. This is the one thing that keeps me up at night, that motivates me, because I don't have it on chasing an NBA championship. And here is George Karl, who has we could talk about this later, but the pic of George Karl in his bio this is like the 1977 era basketball cards. But the 2 gold chains is throwing me. I didn't think George Karl had it like this. I didn't think George Karl was like, I'm playing NBA basketball with 2 chains. I didn't think he had it like this. Anyway, here is what George Karl quote tweeted. And it kept our coaching staff up at night a decade ago, when we were stressing the importance of team play and defense, and the little laughing emoji. Man, just let it, come on. People were like, yeah, but is he wrong? No, he's not wrong. Like, fine, he's still mad about it. Like, I get it. You guys weren't gonna beat the Lakers anyway. Like, just let's put it there first. You guys were not gonna beat the Lakers. That's fine. But this is a bad look. You can't do this over a decade later and be like, I'm still mad because a young Carmelo Anthony didn't play defense. Sounds like you didn't reach your player, coach. Sounds like you did your job poorly. I hate it. Dennis Schroder, he turned down an $84 million deal with the Lakers. He was looking for 100. He wanted those 3 digits, and he didn't get it. It didn't happen for him. He bet on himself. And what they don't tell you when you bet on yourself is that it is a bet and that you can lose that bet. And he did lose the bet, and he recently signed for 5.9, 5.1. Why are we 99 censing Dennis Schroder? Like, get me to 6. If I'm 5'9", I want 6. Give me the 6, and let's stop there. Why are we 5.9ing this? Anyway, 5.9 million with the Boston Celtics. And before we get into the skateboarding thing, there's 2 possibilities here. 1, Dennis Schroder needs to fire his agent and whoever told him to do this. Fired to the point where, like, I'm not paying the rest of your salary, any other deals that you negotiated for me, like, I'm keeping that percentage because on your advice I lost $79 million. Or 2, Dennis Schroder's agent needs to fire him and say, man, you gotta listen to the shit I say, because that's an $8 million percentage for Dennis Schroder's agent. That's rough.
It's definitely Schroder. Like, there's no way an agent looked at that and went, turn it down. There's no way.
You got to drop this guy. It's not worth it. Like, there was some agent somewhere that was like looking at a lake house 2 months ago, you know, like the meme with Wolverine laying on the bed like this, looking at the lake house like like, look at this. And now they're like, well, fuck, I don't know, I guess I'll pay the car off. Like, Dennis, my guy. Anyway, here's Dennis Schroder skateboarding. It's actually pretty impressive. It's a little bit sus that in the first like couple of tricks in the quick edit, we don't see him land it. That said, this is very, very impressive. And also, you shouldn't be doing this, right? This is 100% one of the worst ways to get injured if you're a fucking professional athlete. Because if it happens, there's legitimately no excuse. How did you break your ankle? I don't know. I was trying to do a kick flip like over a rail at a skate park. While I was trying to look for $100 million free agent contract, I decided to go skateboarding. You gotta lose this guy. I hate it. Hey, Barack, were you watching the Olympics?
Bruce, I was watching And
Yeah.
I think congratulations are in order.
Thank you very much.
Your daughter, she won silver
It's amazing.
in and I'm gonna get this right. A Wesleyan.
That's it. Real underdog story. Daughter of a famous rock star makes it to the Olympics and wins silver, and it shows that anybody could do it if they put their mind to it. And they have a multi-acre property in western New Jersey. They too could own multiple horses and one day hope to compete in the Olympics. And I think you're an inspiration to millions of people, Jess, and I'm so proud of you. Glory days! Anyone gonna come down, glory days!